The upgrade of the Transpennine route between Manchester, Leeds and the East Coast Main Line aims to transform east-west rail travel with benefits stretching from Liverpool to Hull, York and beyond. But to do that, Network Rail is effectively having to rebuild part of a main line that was lost in the 1970s. In the previous video, I explained what's going on in and around Huddersfield, including the upgrade and restoration of the station. So it's worth watching that if you haven't already. There'll be a link in the description below. Whilst electrification and the upgrade of Huddersfield are key parts of the Transpennine Route Upgrade, the benefits won't be fully realised until the section between Huddersfield and Dewsbury is 4-tracked. This will allow express east-west rail services to bypass the local stopping services and promises to shave around 10 minutes off the journey time across the Pennines, which will mean the journey from Manchester to Leeds will take around 40 minutes. The line between Huddersfield and Dewsbury had 4 tracks up until the 1970s, when the tracks were unfortunately removed, and since then some of the infrastructure to support 4 tracks has been lost. This means the TRU West Alliance, led by Network Rail, working in conjunction with Amy and BAM Nuttall, is effectively having to build a new railway alongside an existing and active railway, all while trying to keep disruption to a minimum. Huddersfield Viaduct is still mostly capable of accommodating 4 tracks. However, work is still being carried out to restore and strengthen the viaduct. Work to strengthen the viaduct so a new track can be installed over the A641 took place earlier this year, which required weekend closures of the road, with more closures planned in May. Heading east, the bridge which carries the railway over Redbubble Road was widened to accommodate the new tracks. The 4-track abutment was still intact, however the deck was only wide enough to support 2 tracks. Therefore, work had to take place to strengthen the existing abutment and add a new deck for the additional tracks. As part of the 4-tracking and wider TRU upgrade, Deighton and Mirfield stations are being remodelled. The platforms at Deighton will be lengthened and a new accessible overbridge will be constructed, which will connect the 2 platforms via a bridge over the new up-down fast lines. The bridge taking Whittaker Street over the railway immediately to the east of the station will have to be demolished and widened to accommodate the new tracks, with the road expected to close in August and demolition to take place in December. As far as I can tell, Heaton Lodge Junction, which is located between the 2 stations, will largely remain as it is now. However, the existing Cooper's Bridge, which takes the Huddersfield Down line under the Calder Valley line, will have to be modified to provide clearance for the overhead lines. The up-down fast lines will bypass the junction to the south, with work now taking place to clear the way for the new lines. Work is currently underway to replace the underpass underneath the Calder Valley line with a new underpass, which will connect to a second new structure which will pass underneath the new up-down fast lines. The footbridge over the Huddersfield Down line is now closed, and the bridge is due to be replaced with a new structure to provide clearance for the OLE. The upgrade of Mirfield Station is at an advanced stage, and work is due to take place over the Easter period on various aspects of the remodelling, with work expected to be fully completed by December this year. Both platform faces on the existing island platform will be lengthened to accommodate 6-car trains without the need to use selective door opening. In addition, a new accessible overbridge will be constructed, which will cross the new up-down fast lines and link to the station car park. As far as I can tell, it looks as if the lift shaft, located in the centre of the island, will also provide access to Station Road, which will be below the new, longer platforms. On the day that I visited Mirfield, Platform 2 was closed, with Platform 3 used for the westbound stopping services. Although eventually Platform 3 will be removed altogether to provide space for the new fast lines, which are expected to be installed by 2027. The most complex element of the Huddersfield Dewsbury upgrade is the construction of a new grade separated junction, which will replace Thornhill Junction at Ravensthorpe. The junction will be located adjacent to the existing station, and therefore the station will be relocated approximately 300 metres to the west. The benefit of moving the station means that it will be possible to stop services travelling to and from Wakefield at the station, which is currently not possible. Providing room for the station and the new fast lines is no mean feat, and 130,000 cubic metres of material is having to be removed in order to lower an embankment to the south. All of the earthworks you can see in this shot are associated with the TRU work, which I think shows the sheer scale of the work which is being carried out. It doesn't look like a great deal of work has been done since I last visited, but engineers have been carrying out a lot of vital work to prepare for the new junction. A great deal of work has taken place between the new junction location and the Calder and Hebble navigation. This includes installing hundreds of piles to support an embankment. The piles are needed as the area was used as a landfill previously, and as such the ground is unstable. The embankment will connect the new junction to a new 4-track viaduct which will span the navigation and the River Calder. I hadn't realised this at the time, but reviewing the footage it looks like the abutments for the viaduct are starting to take shape on the western side of the navigation. I hope to take a look at the viaduct in more detail at some point, as it is an impressive structure in itself. Part of the structure for a new 2-span bridge is also under construction. This will take Calder Road over the existing and new tracks. A new roundabout will also be constructed, which will connect to a drop-off area for the station. The new island platform station will be connected to the drop-off area by a new accessible bridge, which will cross above the up-slow line and up-down fast lines. Although it's generally referred to as the Huddersfield Dewsbury section, it is technically Huddersfield Westtown, with 4 tracks becoming 2 just to the west of Dewsbury Station. But by effectively bypassing 4 bottlenecks between Huddersfield and Dewsbury, the upgrade will provide substantial benefits. Although it has been a year since my last update, I do want to follow progress more closely this year and explore other areas which I have not looked at yet. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those updates. I certainly think that work will start to ramp up this year and elements of the upgrade will become more apparent. So let me know in the comments if you think there are any sections in particular that I should look at.